This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. We just straight up cold open. Like, we were on mute when you guys were obviously there. Normally, I would play the total intro and then do the actual intro. I would do something like this. I would do thumbnail. We can actually see it here. And then we would go straight into this. And then I would do this. This is typically how it's supposed to go. But that's not how we did it. That's not how we're doing things today.
Bass backwards and
bass backward is the best way. Welcome to Technically Speaking Live. When things go live, you know how it goes?
We're just gonna do it live.
We're gonna do it live. Welcome to Technically Speaking Live. It is Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast. East Coast is the least coast. What? West Coast, left coast, best coast, East Coast, least coast?
I'm just going to see how long you can do this.
How long I do what? Just
tripping over yourself.
String words together that absolutely make no sense. Have you watched any of our shows?
I've watched your videos, yes.
Wow. Come on. That's okay. Only 50 people else watch the other videos, so it is what it is.
I thought I had a pretty good comment on your latest video. I don't think you've seen it yet.
I have probably not even seen it yet. Yep, Bradley, I'm switching things up a little bit. By switching things up, making terrible mistakes, realizing I was not on the splash screen ready to go.
Even though we've literally been sitting here.
We have been sitting here
57 minutes.
57 minutes. We've been sitting
talking
here 57
about
minutes.
Getting ready, and then he pushes the wrong button, and we're just on camera.
You're supposed to executive produce. I'm an executive producer.
You won't give me the tech, so.
Well, the tech is the keyboard and this chair. And you know what? We should probably switch it up one time. I'll teach you how to do it. It's really not that hard.
Assume
I still screw it up.
I don't already know how.
You probably do. You've seen me do this 157 shows.
Yeah, approximately.
Bradley, I am so glad that you are enjoying your Pixel 6 so far. I've seen some things on, I believe, your Instagram. Some big boats. Some very large boats. Maybe
you creeping on Bradley's big boat?
Come on. Pause, sir. Pause. Drew, what's up? Good evening, y'all. We're going to talk about the Pixel 6a, the Pixel Watch, which is allegedly rumored to come out in... Did we ever determine what I actually said last week?
We're just going to say this year. Y'all can go back and rewatch all of last week's show. He needs the minutes. But wow. Yes, you did predict that both the 6A and the Pixel Watch and the Pixel 7 were all going to come out sometime in 2022. We're not going to hold you to a specific quarter, but...
they'll come out this year. That's what I think.
Now, the big question on everybody's mind...
What's it like?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Show us the watch. Tell us what it's like.
I don't have it. I have a TicWatch Pro. This is a TicWatch Pro.
It's a TicWatch Pro disguised as a Pixel 6, disguised as a TicWatch Pro.
It's a TicWatch Pro. That's what I got. If Scott can do it, so can a blind monkey. That's true. Michael Peppertech says you can host the show. Next week, you host the show, and then I become the executive producer. Malcontent, I have seen that you have emailed me. I am not ignoring you. I have seen the emails. Thank you so much for the emails and the content. Very, very much appreciative. We're going to talk Pixel 6a, Pixel Watch, and a potential foldable Mac. Google Tensor chip is actually partially to blame for MediaTek taking over Qualcomm's top spot in the U.S., allegedly.
That was a mouthful. That wasn't on the show notes.
T, how you going to do me like that, bro? Bro, come on. If he doesn't have it, it's on the way. Come on.
We all live in hope, T.
Come on, man. Why you gotta do me like that? Come on. Kenny Man, good evening. Pixel Watch.
Yep.
You allegedly, the new report, this comes from Ben Schoon from 9 to 5 Google. The Pixel 6a and the Pixel Watch tipped to come in at 3 colors each, 32 gigs of storage for the watch.
That is
a lot.
That's more than my first 2 smartphones put together.
A lot. I have a feeling the watch is going to look like John Prosser's renders. I also have a feeling that it's probably going to look like that. The Pixel Watch evidently is finally coming this year. According to a new report, the Wear OS smartwatch will come in 3 colors and deliver a huge amount of storage. Now, the Galaxy Watch 4 currently has the most local storage of any Wear OS product currently, and that has 16 gigs of storage. Google. 16 gigs of storage.
Google just gonna double it.
No, I'm gonna double
MBD.
it.
Just double down on it.
Stats would not lie to us, says Michael Secret. We know you have it. Stats. I do not have it. Tell the people.
I have never seen it in his possession.
There you go. Stats wouldn't lie.
He's probably just hiding it, though.
I don't have it. I ain't got it. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I ain't got it.
Of the 3 that you've predicted this year,
yes.
If you don't have any of the 3 of them, which one would you be most excited to have? The 6A, the watch, or the 7?
So take the 7 out because it's a brand new phone, and I'm always like super geeked about Google's brand new phones. So the 6A, I'm intrigued. Also that word. At what they're going to bring over from a Tensor chip perspective into the 6A and what that's going to do from a price point perspective. I'm interested to know if they go back to like the Pixel 5 camera specs and things of that nature to kind of keep the cost down. What they're going to do out of the Pixel 6A. Is it going to look like the Pixel 6? Those are some of the things that I just have question marks on because the 3A, the 4A, and the 5A all have very distinct looks. Are they going to go into the look of the visor across the entire top? That's what I'm very interested to know. His eyes get shiny when he lies.
Yeah, honestly, I'm interested in both because, as we've discussed many times on this show, Google has knocked it out of the park with every single A-line device that they've created and brought to market. They really seem to nail the quality of components, obviously the software game, but then balance it against an equitable price that can get a lot more people into their ecosystem. But then a truly in-house, standard, basic, pure Android Pixel Watch experience is something we have been begging for on this channel almost since it began.
You've never had a smart watch.
False.
False?
There's one sitting on my counter that I keep forgetting to bring back to you.
Oh, well, okay. You've never routinely used a smartwatch.
No.
Will you be first in line for a Pixel Watch?
Of course not.
You are the worst for the show. You are the worst.
You never buy the first gen of something.
Why?
Because you'll buy it.
You bought a first gen hybrid.
Technically, it was the second year, but because you'll get it, and then I'll get to test it when they come out with the A line 6 months later.
I don't know if they're going to do an A line.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think you're going to see that.
You know, for a while, I liked the idea of a smartwatch, but then just like having your phone always on, face up next to you on your desk or in your pocket, it's just one of those things that it's almost too intrusive. I have recently started wearing a watch again, based on a most excellent birthday present from several gentlemen with the last name Banks.
What the hell, man? What the hell?
And I'm sure Katie did a great job helping.
She had
nothing
to do with that watch. Nothing to do with that watch. That was all. It was actually the Banks boys and me.
Yes. But I've always really enjoyed analog watches. I never even really did digital watches when we were growing up. I like the look. I like the feel. I like the the way that, it does one thing and it does it extremely well. And because my phone is never farther than about 18 inches away from me,
pause.
I don't need my watch to tell me what I can see my phone telling me right there.
It's so incredibly freeing though when you don't have to have your watch or your phone in your pocket and you can still see the text message that you're going to ignore. It is, and like, here's the other thing: the TicWatch Pro here, you can actually answer phones from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've many times left my phone like downstairs and then walked upstairs to get like a cup of coffee or a refresh or something like that. And I'll get a phone call and I'll answer it on my watch and say, hang on a second. And it's clear enough that you can actually say, hang on a second, let me go, back downstairs to get to my phone, blah, 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 blah. And you can have a really quick conversation. I wouldn't want to have a full conversation on a watch. That's the other thing is, what are we going to get from a Pixel Watch perspective? Like, what is it going to offer? You've got to have something that offers as much, if not more, than the Series 7 watch from Apple. So it's got to have all the bells and whistles that you get from the Galaxy Watch 4 from an Android Wear perspective, and it's got to have all the bells and whistles from a health perspective that you see in the Apple Watch Series 7. So I love the fact that it's not going to be square.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be round. This is all based on the renders from John Prosser, of course, I should say. I don't have the watch. None of you believe me because if you go to the comments, Malcontent says, how do you tell when Peachy's lying? He's breathing. Malcontent says, or Michael Secret says, he lies when his hair grows. When he lies, his hair grows.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, I'm definitely interested in it just to see what Google can do when they decide to go all in on it, just like they've done with their Pixel lines. Now, since it looks like we're going to get that.
The missus chimed in. I wasn't part of the watch. Suck it, Trebek.
I don't know why
suck it long and suck it hard.
I don't know why you're yelling at me. I already have the present.
Somebody's gonna take that clip happened at the 12-minute and 45-second mark.
Trent, we're looking
Trent,
forward to
we're looking. Somebody get Trent on the speed dial.
So what I was gonna say is now that it really does appear that we are gonna get a true, pure Google Pixel Watch experience, we should probably talk about them. Doing another Pixel book, or truly coming out with a foldable, or
not gonna happen.
Some
the foldable. The foldable is gonna happen.
Tablet, foldable, phablet kind of thing. We're gonna talk about Apple's attempt at that here in a little bit.
Let's see.
But since we've, my point is, we've been talking about a pure Android Pixel Watch on this show for like 4 years now. So we're gonna spend the next 4 years begging them to bring back an upgraded, top of the line, just baller Pixel book.
So you want another Pixel book?
Absolutely, I do. Because then I'll give you this one back and you'll stop complaining.
I won't stop complaining. I will always continue to complain because he still has it. Although you did earn that one, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
We that was a good barter. I agree with stats. Smartwatch is entirely redundant for me since I don't need fitness data. And then Jason C says a lot of Fitbit integration. So I would say that
Google owns Fitbit now, right? Alphabet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they absolutely do. So I think you're going to see a lot of health information, Fitbit integration as it relates to the Pixel Watch. That's just an absolute given. I think the Fitbit integration finally, or the Fitbit acquisition finally put it over the edge to say, all right, so we got to get serious about a smartwatch because obviously Fitbit has done it really, really well.
Well, they also see the billions of dollars every year that they're losing to Apple just because they have the best smartwatch in the game as it stands today.
Yeah.
So,
but having a smartwatch is incredibly freeing because I can actually put my phone in my pocket. And again, anytime the phone vibrates or anything like that, my watch will also vibrate so I can see exactly what it is. That way, if I have to actually answer the phone or actually answer the text message or whatever, because it could be a text message that says, hey, I'll see you in a little bit.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to respond. Like, I've gotten to the point now where I see it and then I don't respond. What are you doing?
Just got some weird shadows going on according to people on my phone. So I was going to try that.
Okay. This is when you know the show's live, folks. This is when you know the show is live.
Hey, I only have one light. It takes like 3 to make you look that good.
So I have one big light right there, and then I have another, like a key light over here that's not even on me. It's actually shining off of the wall. I personally don't even need it. I like to create that depth because I'm wide. Very wide.
Large.
Yeah, so I need a little more depth. A little more depth to it. So I hope that what? Pickle. I hope that pickle.
Oh, Scott is all about his pickles.
I hope a Pixel Watch means the Wear OS app will improve. Give us the ability to rearrange the app icons from the phone. Also, Telegram and other chat apps will need to come back to Wear OS. Wholeheartedly agree. How much do you think the Pixel Watch will cost? That
is a great question, because I'll be honest, I don't know what any smartwatches out there cost right now.
So I think that the Pixel Watch will come in at $299.
What is the one that you're
the base
wearing?
model will come in at $299. The high-end model will come in at $399. I think the one on my wrist costs $250.
Okay.
I think it will cost no more. I think if they price it at $399, it's a mistake. Straight up a mistake.
The bottom level.
I think any level. If they have multi-tiered levels, unless it's just like one straight up, just different colors, all that, then I would say one type of watch. $250 would be like pretty good sweet point, but I think anything over $299 is a mistake. So I believe I believe they should price it at no higher than $299. I think they should price it at $249. I think they're going to price it probably a little bit higher than that, depending on how amazing the watch is. So Bradley says $350.
I'm trying to see what the cheapest Series 7 Apple Watch is right now. Seeing $400.
Oh, yeah. Michael Secret says, for Scott, it'll be $399.
Right.
$399.
So, yeah, it looks like the cheapest brand new Apple Watch is $399.
Yeah.
So, again, if Google can beat that, money. Literally, money. So,
it's all about getting into that ecosystem, baby. It's all about that ecosystem because it's all about
money.
About strong indication, the idea that it's going to be 32 gigs. That's why I think it's going to be more. It's going to be $299 or above. They're going to price it a lot like that of the Apple Series 7 because it had better have all of the bells and whistles, which means Wear OS needs to get their act together. If you're going to price it like an actual Apple Series 7 watch, your Wear OS had better be like Moneyball, and you're going to see it. You'll see how well it is, especially if they start to talk about, watch integrations, this, that, and the other with Google I/O. So that will be really, really telling. So the developers conference they have every year in May, if they start to talk a lot about smartwatches and this, that, and the other, take a look at what you see in I/O. If you're starting to see a lot of smartwatch stuff, a lot of things, tablets or foldables, that might be a good indication of what Google has in store.
And what Scott is hiding under his desk. That joke's never going to get old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't care. Michael Peppertech. My boy did everything they could with the TicWatch, the dual layer screen for $299. So Pixel needs to stay around that or lower, in my opinion. Absolutely agree. $199 to make an immediate impact.
Jason.
I don't think they can come in that cheap. Max says $250, $225 entry price. I think it's going to be higher than that. With how much is the Galaxy Watch 4?
All right, hang on.
Because I don't know that one off the top of my head.
I was looking up something else.
Get off of the hub.
No, it wasn't that. I was actually looking up how much it would cost to buy a 32 gig flash drive, but they are ridiculously cheap these days, so that doesn't even help.
No.
All right, what did you want me to look up?
Galaxy Watch 4 price. I could have done it by now, but at this point, but you're executive producing.
$249.99.
Okay, so $249. I think if they can stay at the
they should do it $248.
If they can do $249 for double the storage and all of the bells and whistles as it relates to the brand new Wear OS.
Now, interesting, just reading about the Galaxy Watch. Do you think it's going to be LTE or
Malcontent.
Not.
Maybe Peach is like a drug mule and he really doesn't have it in his hand.
Big paws.
Pause, sir.
Big ones.
Pause. Sus. Super sus. What was your question?
So is it going to have LTE like the Galaxy Watch 4?
I think if they do the multitude of the types of tiered, like, 250, 300, 350, 400, or whatever that might be. If they do it tiered, I could see them offering something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if they will, though. Maybe not in the beginning.
Yeah. And Ivy Mac makes a great point there. Do what Pixel/Google does best. Give you simple, easy-to-use hardware, and then just blow it out of the water with the software.
Yeah. All the bells and whistles with the software. Keep it how they got it under there. Didn't it leak on U.S. Cellular? Good point. I think it did leak on U.S. Cellular. That would tell you everything you need to know. It's always on sale. Picked one up for $169. Woot woot. I'm assuming you talk about the Galaxy Watch 4 being on sale for $169. That's a hell of a deal for that watch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a great deal. Let's talk about the Pixel 6a. Finally, a report also offers some context around the launch of the 6a. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I said this last week or not. I'm going to go and say you will not see the watch in the spring. You will see it in the fall.
Okay.
That's my guess, is because they'll want to make it be like, go full integration with all the Google things with your brand new Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro with a Pixel Watch. That's what I think is going to happen.
I'm okay with it. Makes for a more entertaining event. Drop all the things.
Plus, it'll take away from Google I/O. Plus, it'll take it away from the Pixel 6a. The A line is the affordable line. It is a line that's amazing. The phone is apparently set to offer in 3 different color variants: black, white, and green. The Pixel 6 was also offered in black, green, and red, while the Pixel 6 Pro was offered in black, white, and gold. The report also mentioned that the 6A will be offering 128 gigs of storage, which is in line with the past 2 generations of the A series devices. I'm telling you, it'll be the first Tensor chip in an A device. What are you going to expect from a price point perspective? Keep in mind what they priced the 6 and the 6 Pro.
Yeah.
I believe no more than $399. No more than $399. They would be dumb, in my opinion, to go above $399.
Well, the 5A launched at $450.
Uh-huh. But that was not their chip.
Right. But the Tensor chip is a major upgrade from what they've used in the past. And
but it's them making it.
Yeah, I know. They control it completely. So I could see them, especially if they use the same form factor as the 6 and 6 Pro. Maybe not the exact same hardware, but the same form factor. Yep. I could see them, hitting right at that 450 mark again. But
what was the 4A was like $299, wasn't it?
I thought the 4A was $349 as well.
$349. $399 for the A is what Mac says.
Yeah. So
I think it's
$399 would be amazing if they could do it with the 6.
This is where
6A, I'm sorry.
This is where I think they have to do something like $399, if not cheaper, because of what Apple is going to be doing with their event that is supposedly coming out. When is it?
Next week.
March 8th.
Yeah, next
That's
Tuesday.
Right, March 8th. This will make sense in a second when I talk about the Apple event, and we'll come back to the Pixel 6a. Apple's expected to announce the next generation of the iPhone SE, a revamped iPad Air, and at least one Mac and one with Apple Silicon chip, which could be the Mac Mini or a 13-inch MacBook Pro or both. Now, I say that third generation iPhone SE will look similar to the second generation model that's out now. No design changes are expected. It will continue to feature thick bezels, with the Touch ID home button in the middle, included an upgraded A series chip like an A15 15 for faster 5G connectivity. And it says it will be Apple's most affordable 5G iPhone ever created to date. I had heard a rumor that they were going to price that thing at like $199.
Oh my God. Number one,
I don't know if that's true.
they're losing money on it if they're doing that. Number two,
They don't need to make money.
I know they don't
$1 trillion
need to.
company.
They're $1 trillion publicly traded company.
$1 trillion, bro. $1 trillion.
$199 would just
That would eat Android alive
well
from the bottom. Pause.
They're already doing that in this country. It's outside the U.S. that Android still has the lion's share of the market, but yeah, a $199 price point gets you in some of those other middle tier Android markets around the world that have never been able to.
It's a problem.
Get the iPhone.
A $199 or a $299 iPhone SE is a problem for Android. It is a problem. I assure you of that. Like that can be a mega huge, like that could be a wonderful cost of entry for somebody in another country trying to get an Apple product.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The rumor I heard was $299. A $299 iPhone would really, really impact the Google Pixel A.
Well, but again, whatever price point Apple announces, Google will then be able to respond when they drop theirs later in the year. So
now, needless to say, the 6A would be significantly more
capable.
Can't really say more capable because an A15 is not an incapable chip as it relates to an Apple Silicon. It's one of those like, oh, geez, like it's just. In my opinion, the iPhone SE is it's hideous looking. Like thick bezels with the giant home button in the middle.
And yeah, the picture that is on the article, there's a single camera on the back. Which means, you don't get a lot. You can't even take advantage of software at that point if you only have one lens that is capturing the data. You only have one choice on how to capture that data. And I think that if that's true, if the render is true, if the price point is true, then Google has a decision to make. Do they differentiate themselves on the caliber of hardware they're willing to put in their A-line with, again, then the top-of-the-line software capabilities that they put in all of their devices, or do they try to match Apple on a price point just to not lose market share?
Well, and so Michael brings up a good point here. Honestly, Google really needs to push the A series hard. I'd sell them every day, regardless of carrier, if we actually carried them. That is part of the problem. They need to do the exact same thing that they did in the fall with the 6 and the 6 Pro. Put those A-holes right in the middle of every single freaking Best Buy, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, US Cellular, you name it. Put it right front and center of the store and sell the daylights out of the A line. And the 4A could have obliterated 4 Samsung trash phones on its own, but yet it didn't because they just couldn't be available anywhere.
Right.
They need to hold and do the same thing. Basically, get the phone for free if you trade in anything. Basically, anything that turns on, trade it in. We'll give you a brand new Pixel 6a for free. They need to do some sort of trade-in program like that, or do the trade-in program like they're doing right now on AT&T with getting a brand new S22 Ultra or S22 at all. Basically, get $800 off for a phone that cost a fraction of that when you can trade it in for $800. It's like, hang on, we need to do something like that. We're tons of carrier deals, getting in front of everybody. Market, because the A-line could absolutely just really handle. Are you still having shadow issues?
No, it's not a shadow at this point. Something on my parents' TV, when the comments are scrolling up, it covers my face. So they asked me to move over here a little bit.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
Hey, it's my parents.
Oh, it's okay. It is what it is. Hi, Mom and Dad. Just make sure the website is ready to handle the sales too. I think that only that they need to be able to handle the sales. They also need to be able to handle the foot traffic that comes into these carrier stores, because they need to put them in the carrier stores again. If you're really going to lean hard into making your own chip, you're going to make a chip that goes into a phone or goes into a tablet or goes into insert whatever other electronic device, then you need to market the Holy Spirit out of that thing.
Well, either that or they need to go all in on Google Fi and try to get people away from the carriers. I mean, we've talked about Google Fi on the show a couple of times. I've used it for years. It's a great service. So, yeah, they have to make a decision. And unfortunately, part of the decision is probably going to be made for them in the, the infrastructure slowdowns, the supply chain crisis that's going on. If they can't produce enough units to satisfy every single business that wants to try to sell them, then Google has to make a choice and either push it to the carriers, sell it direct and let people activate it wherever they want, or push people to Fi.
Oh, here you go. Buy the 6A, get a year of Google Fi and 100 gigs of cloud storage and YouTube Premium for free.
Yeah. No brainer at that point.
Holy crap, that would be incredible.
Especially if you're already in the Android ecosystem and you use some of that stuff anyway, or you could entice somebody who's been on the fence. You give them that 100 gigs of cloud storage for a year to move everything from their other ecosystem over. That's a great deal.
Here you go. Michael just said it best right here. There really needs to be a strong Google presence in the carrier stores. Nobody would ever sell them if I didn't teach my coworkers about pixels and advocate for it. Here's the deal. Dear Google.
Put it at the front of the store.
Dear Google, give me a Google shirt. Put me in front of people at Best Buy. Put me in front of people at AT&T.
That store gonna go shut down.
Put me in front of a store at Verizon. You just put me in front of the store and you give me nothing. You give me pixels. You give me pixels. It'll be like Girl Scout cookies. You want a pixel? I got a pixel for you. What kind of phone do you have right now? Oh, you have a Samsung trash phone? Oh, well, let's go ahead and upgrade you to a big boy phone. Let's upgrade you to a big girl phone. Let's go play with these spaces. Do you have kids or dogs? Do you have pets? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? How do you like using something that's deemed the iPhone of Android? How do you feel about simplicity? Just let me sell the phones. Dear Google, I've made this plea before. Google, let's make a deal right now. If you give me 10 Pixel devices, 10, I will go flip 10 people to be Pixel users full time. Right now. Ready to go. Let's do this.
Everybody get your
everybody get ready.
Your Twitter retweets, your Instagram snippets and everything.
You will find no bigger fan of a Google Pixel device than me. I'm not even in the super fans, by the way. I'm not even in the Google Pixel super fans. I'm not sure what that's all about.
That just means nobody at YouTube is actually watching our video.
I know, it's fine. It's fine.
Got to do better SEO.
Carriers only know how to sell Apple and Samsung. Yes. Like I said in the above, the iPhone SE $199 is a money grab. Yep.
I mean, Google knows what they need to do. They've seen the success that they had with the 6 and the 6 Pro. They just have to follow it up. They've got to repeat. Everybody knows winning one championship is hard. Winning a second one is astronomically more difficult back to back. So they did it once. They have an opportunity to do it again, especially with trying to roll out a watch at the same time. You could shock the world, but you have to bring it.
And evidently they're starting to bring it a little bit, especially if you ask IDC, which I'm not sure what that stands for. According to reports, Google Tensor is partially to blame for MediaTek stealing Qualcomm's top slot in the U.S. because Qualcomm has for years, according to 9 to 5 Google Ben Schoon.
That's a second article of his today.
That is a second article of his today. Qualcomm has long dominated the Android smartphone market, but see, the times are a-changin', and according to the IDC, the Google Tensor chip is at least partially to blame. So that means that they're selling out some of those things. selling out some of those things as it relates to right now. There's a dispute between Qualcomm and MediaTek right now as who holds the top slot as the most popular Android chip maker. Qualcomm says that they hold the top slot. MediaTek says that they've just taken the lead as of last year. And partially to blame is Google's role in abandoning the Qualcomm chip for its own Tensor chipset. If Google had stuck with the Qualcomm, MediaTek wouldn't have gained the lead, according to this analyst from IDC. The Pixel 6 broke sales records last year to a moderate degree, according to Ben. And that just goes to show you that, yes, if you're going to make your own chipset, you're going to have to market these things and get yourself a nice presence in these carrier stores. Start to train people on why. Get folks like me to go into the carrier stores and flip the people who are selling the phones into Pixel fans. That's what you should let me do. That's what you should let me do. Hire me. Pay me a handsome fee. A very handsome fee. But I'll make you a deal. We can talk about contracts a little bit later. Let's just get to the nuts and bolts of this. Ship me around to different carrier stores to talk about the powers of the Pixel. The powers of the Pixel. You got an idea. Run with it. The power of the Pixel.
I do.
Send me around to all these carrier stores, and I will train their staff on the verbiage, the word of Pixel. Preach your peach with the Pixel praise. Whew!
We know somebody in the carrier industry lives in this state. Used to live with you.
Does. That's very true.
So we could make this happen even on an ad hoc basis.
That would be really interesting. I'm not sure he would be down for it, but
we could strip you naked, paint you to look like the Google logo, and have you stand out in front of a store.
This just got really, really weird.
Anyway,
this just got a little bit weird.
Speaking of new avenues and opportunities for engagement and potentially employment, IDC stands for International Data Corporation.
Hey!
Right up your slick willy alley.
All right, up the alley, the old alleyway. The International Data, what?
International Data Corporation, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of International Data Group.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
Partnership opportunities there.
The iPhone SE isn't really a money grab. It's the value to add them into the long-term ecosystem. It is literally just that, malcontent. You said it absolutely one of the best ways right there. It is a way for parents to get a $199 or a $299 phone for their daughters or their sons, because everybody wants to be an Apple.
Yeah.
And get them locked into the ecosystem, because I can guarantee you, Travis MCP has said it best. When you get them locked into the ecosystem when they're like 12, 13, 14 years old, do you think they're just going to flip and go to Android by the time they turn 20? That's not going to happen. They're going to be way fully baked into the Apple ecosystem by then. We just got to try to flip the script on them a little bit and make it easier to get them into the Google ecosystem, which you're seeing watches, and hopefully you'll start to see more with Chromebooks, and you get the general gist.
Yeah.
Here you go. Joker Tech. Do you know right now T-Mobile has a deal? New line or port in, get a Pixel 6 for $99. Yes, a 2-year agreement, but no. This gets no press, but TV ads for free iPhone. No one will ever know. Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You can get a $100 Pixel 6, the device of the year, might I add. The Pixel 6 was arguably the device of the year. It was the best, won some MKBHD award for one of the best Android devices of the year. From its price point perspective, you just can't beat it. I absolutely love my Pixel 6 Pro. Man, $299 iPhone is going to be a real big problem.
Yeah, but at the same time, we know that Apple's going to do what's best for Apple. What Google has to convince themselves of is they can and should do what's best for Google. And if that means selling a 6A at $349, if that means, selling the 7 closer to $1,000 as a true flagship, when it comes out, that's fine. Because there is a group of individuals, this room included, that will follow them and will use their products to the best of our abilities. But Google just needs to make up its mind. Are you going to be a niche, truly niche market holder, or are you going to try to expand a little bit, which then helps all of the rest of your downline programs and companies, just like it does in the Apple ecosphere or the Meta ecosphere or things like that?
Might as well go 3 for 3. The old hat trick. Ben Schoon again from 9 to 5 Google. I think I need to. I follow Ben on Twitter. He's a great follow on Twitter. I was going to say,
did you see his Twitter handle?
Yeah, Nexus Ben.
Nexus Ben.
Yeah, he's a great follow.
All the Nexus phones you got back there.
I know, right here, right there is a Nexus 4, 5, and the Shamu, the Nexus 6. HTC will be making a return to high-end phones in April, focused on the metaverse. After years of nothing, literally zero things, it seems HTC is ready for a comeback when they made arguably one of the worst phones in the history of the world. In the history of all the phones. And I had it. And it was a literally hot dumpster fire of a phone. When 4G LTE first came out on Verizon, they made a phone called the HTC Thunderbolt. And that thing was the worst battery life I've ever had on a smartphone at all. At all. It was just the worst. I mean, it would go down percentages within just shockingly minutes. And it would just, the 4G LTE was fast, and we weren't used to that at the time. Way back in my day, we weren't used to the LTE being so fast, but that thing would just churn the battery life like I would never, ever see. And it was the worst phone I think I've ever had. And it was just hot garbage. And so every time when I see HTC is going to come out with a high-end device, I can only imagine what this is going to be like, because just what? Faster than thunder. According to Ben, will unveil a new smartphone in April, described as a high-end device by HTC Vive, during which was described as a high-end device. HTC has not completely left the Android market in recent years. The company's efforts have largely been focused on the budget market rather than purely flagship models. Also pursuing flagship models, if I could read. The focus on the HTC Android device is apparently on the metaverse. AR, VR applications. I don't get it, man. Yeah. I don't get the metaverse. It's just not my thing.
NFTs. Crypto.
Well, we tried to do the whole NFT thing a few weeks ago.
Did we really try, or did we just talk about it?
We talked about it.
We talked about trying.
We talked about trying, and it was a mess. And we're like, I'm going to NFT a thing. And then we didn't actually NFT anything.
Well. We didn't lose anything either, so, All right, what else we got?
Trying to think what else we got from this perspective, or we might wrap up a little bit early. Messages. Have you gotten the auto categorization from Google Messages?
No, not yet.
Have you also got? You're not on beta, are you?
No, I still haven't done the beta.
I was gonna say, if you get the beta, I've been trying desperately to see if somebody can get the. I have yet to get the emotions from the iPhone people.
Right.
They're supposed to be able to do that. That mapping.
Right.
I have yet to get that either, and I'm on Messages beta, and I'm dying to try it out. Oh my God, you weren't living if you didn't own the HTC Incredible. Had that bastard of a phone too. Good God, I was like, they can't possibly make two bad in a row, can they? Oh yeah, they 100% can. They 100% did. Oh. Just doesn't HTC know how many people hate Meta? Right? And let's see. Joker Tech says, if I can pull this up, the S21 right now is right for the time. COVID was full blow. You can get laid off, then bust at your phone. The SC 2020 was it. Gets you on a slippery slope for the iOS. It absolutely does.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's ever accused Apple of not having incredible timing or not bringing out products and get really lucky, or not making a really nice product. But yeah, whenever they drop their price point on the new SE, it's going to be real interesting to see how Google tries to respond, or anybody else for that matter who makes an entry level or a lower tier type device to try to get more market share.
In other news from Carl Pei, Carl Pei, nothing. This is the golden sombrero. Ben Schoon will review.
I was on 9 to 5 looking through his. He posts like 5 or 6 articles a day.
Well, yeah, I mean the man can write. There's no
the
question.
boy's on it.
We need to have him on the show.
We should absolutely have him on the show.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should ask him. See if he would be on the show.
I think you should do it right now.
Live. I'm not going to do it right this second.
On air.
I'm not going to. What am I going to tweet him?
Yeah.
Right now on
Grab
air.
your Pixel 7 and tweet the
boy. You just want to set that one up.
I did. I really did.
He was ready to set that one up. He's just really going with it on that one, weren't you?
One trick pony over here. So you were talking about
my god, the nothing phone.
The nothing phone.
It's still going to be nothing from the guy. This comes as absolutely no surprise. Nothing was founded by Carl Pei. It evidently is going to be coming out with a new phone next month. Launch his Android phone next month, according to a TechCrunch report. Now, Nothing has been working on a smartphone for over a year and plans to unveil it next month. God knows what that's going to be. The entrepreneur has shown off a prototype of the device in meetings with several key executives from the industry at this week's Mobile World Congress, which was in Barcelona. So we will see. Back on Android, Snapdragon Android, we got a lot of catch up on. There was a full-blown back Carl Pei, and then at Android got him, and then at Snapdragon got him. It was like a whole big Twitter love fest. According to Nothing's official Twitter handle, at Nothing.
How was that not taken before
I'm
he
sure it
founded
was
that?
taken. They just probably paid a pretty penny for it.
Yeah.
I would imagine they probably would. March is going to be fun. That was said on February 28th.
Well, it certainly can't be any worse than it already is. So bring it on, Carl.
Let's see, Carl. What do you Carl?
Let's do it.
Carl, let's
give us something to talk about.
Let's get on to something to talk about. Okay, let's talk about the comments one more time before we break. We'll wrap the show up a little bit early. We're not going to just belabor a point for the sake of getting an hour in. Michael Pepper Tech says Google needs to use their pull for RCS with unified profiles and default on all Android devices, regardless of carrier. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Google needs to give more attention to his home ecosystems. A lot of work needed there. Things should integrate a lot better, and competition is getting quick there, especially with Nest hardware. I know what you meant by that, Demetrius.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say...
Bold claim. Ready? Bold claim. They're going to do that at I.O.
Okay.
They're going to do that at I.O. You're going to see greater integration, and I think it's going to be because of how good the assistant has gotten.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to start to see that they're going to try to do that whole metaverse thing, but they're not going to do it that way. They're going to actually... Something special. I don't know why I said that. I don't know anything.
Yeah, he literally took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say
he knows nothing.
That Google isn't a slouch when it comes to the home ecosystem. You know, could they be a little bit better? Could things, could their Wi-Fi reception in the Nest Minis be a little bit better? Yes, absolutely. But the advantage Google has far and away of anybody else who is doing smart speakers, smart devices inside their home is the assistant. The assistant makes Google's devices work. And the Assistant is head and shoulders, leaps and bounds, miles and miles ahead of the competition.
I mean, I don't think it's quite as drastic as you say.
Come on, we're fanboys.
We're fanboys. I mean, I'm going to try to bring it back just a little bit.
That's the first time for everything.
I think they are absolutely far ahead when it comes to Siri, because like if you ask Siri a question, oh boy, it can do some very basic stuff, but the Assistant has it like continued conversations. Like if I ask the Assistant a very specific question, I don't get I can pull up this website for you and figure it out. It actually gives me the answer. Like I asked it a question the other day where I was like, there's no way it's going to be able to give me an answer for this. It actually gave me an answer for the thing. I was going to say, Alexa is really good. Alexa is really, really good. I don't have Alexa, but I'm going to do this. Hey, Google. Cancel. I did that on purpose.
So,
she's still listening.
Yeah, Malcontent. We did have an article about Soli or SOLI in our show notes for tonight, but neither of us really understand it, so we couldn't figure out how we were going to talk about it. But yes, we've seen that information as well, and
Soli has been integrated. Like when you start to go close to the device will wake up and look at you. Well, quote unquote, look at you, because there's no camera on the ones that I have in the bedrooms. There's no cameras in there. There's audio on all the time.
There's no cameras on those devices.
Patrick, what about Bixby? Come on, Patrick. Come on. That one got me. Patrick, you got me on that one, I'll tell you.
Just behind Cortana.
Yeah, Cortana. Cortana actually works really, really well on laptops. So I've been told. I don't know about Bixby though. I'm gonna hold out hope with Bixby. No, it's gonna be the Google Home and then Alexa. And I just set off. I knew that I would. That was for you, Bradley. Set off your brand new Pixel 6. All right, Stats. Where can they find you?
Helix Island on the tweet machine. I just got a new follower while we were on the show, so whoever that is, thank you so much. Country Smith on the Instagram. Still not really posting much there, but definitely lurking and thinking about getting back into it. So we'll see.
You can find me at Scott Peachy on Twitter, at the Scott Peachy on Instagram. I haven't posted at Instagram in a really, really long time. I need to get back to it. I'm starting to get back into the spring of things. I got a new video coming out probably tomorrow on the Vivo X70 Pro Plus. And ooh boy, I very nearly put my main SIM in this phone. Oh, it was close. Ooh, and I'm still 50-50 because some of the photos that I took, those photos are amazing. Whew. So good. But it's the voice transcription and the dictation that I just cannot live without, because I will text that joker right over there all the time and just hold my phone up and just dictate at him. Pause. All right, folks, we'll see you again next week. Thinking about moving the show to 8:00 next week. So keep an eye out on your YouTube feed to see if we might be joining the show half hour early. Might do that for a little while. Not entirely sure. Probably we'll just stick to 8:30 because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
At least we're honest.
Whatever works.
All right. Be good or be good at it. We will see you all next week. See you then. Peace.
Bye.